Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be making a beat for Pop Smoke's new album, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. If you haven't heard it, I definitely recommend you go listen to it, and let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm going to be making a drill beat this time. I know my last tutorial was a drill beat, but it did really well. I just liked the drill beats on this album, so I'm going to try and make what I would have made for that album if I produced on it. And the first thing I did was, I already actually started this, but all I did was go in Omnisphere, grab a piano, and then lay down. It's all the same chord, just shifting the top note a bit. And then I have little passer notes in between, and that sounds like this. So now I'm just gonna duplicate this over and then try and make a change on this side. I'm just gonna see what I can come up with. Okay, so I like how that sounds. Now I'm just gonna randomize the velocities by doing Alt and R. And I also have it randomizing the panning a little bit, but I'm gonna turn that down. And then I want this to be pretty like laid back, so I'm just gonna do Alt and X to bring down the velocities. And that also helps with making it sound more real. And in Omnisphere, I turned down the timbre on the piano because I liked how it sounded, and then I raised the attack, and that just makes it feel a little more like gloomy and like dark. So yeah, and I'm just gonna listen to it. Okay, so I like how that sounds. I'm just gonna put in the mixer channel by selecting it here and then holding control and pressing L, and that will automatically put in the mixer channel. And then I'm just gonna EQ it, and then I'm going to render it to a WAV file and then just reverse it and see how that sounds. And then maybe I'll throw some other effects on it, but for now I'm just gonna cut the lows out, etc. And the way I rendered it to a WAV file is I just clicked the little recording button to arm the recording, and then I made sure I had it selected, this mixer channel, and then I held Alt and pressed R, and then this is what you got. So now I'm going to reverse it. So I chopped up every bar, and now I'm just gonna rearrange it, but I'm just dragging them from the end and bring them to the beginning. And then what this does is like, it gives the piano a reversed sound, but it's still playing the melody in the order that I had it laid out. So here. So I like how that sounds. Now I'm actually gonna open up Arcade. I'm gonna try and find like some sort of orchestral instrument, like a violin or a cello, and I think that could work pretty well with this. Okay, so that took me forever, but I think I finally came up with something I like. I ended up not using a cello, I just couldn't find anything, but I got this voice, and it's super simple pattern, but that's all you really need for vocals, really. And now I'm just gonna move on. Okay, so I grabbed this flute here, and I'm gonna see if I can come up with anything. If I can't, then I just won't use it, but let's see what I can do. Okay, so I added a cello from a one-shot kit, and then I just played these simple like chords, like it's the same chords as my melody, but I have it all like somewhat mixed, and I'm just gonna render it out into one wave file. Alright, so now I'm just gonna render all my instruments out to wave files, and then eventually render them out into one wave file just to make like a full sample, and then I'll keep working from there. So I added a halftime to my piano, and I just turned on the mix, so it's not like actually like half-timed, but in the background it is. It's just a cool little effect you can do to a lot of different melodies. So now I have that all laid out, I'm just gonna render it. I'm just gonna now arm the master and then render that. So I took my master sample and then just pitched it down 2 cents, and now it sounds like this. Okay, now I am ready to throw in some drums, so I'm just gonna get a hi-hat and a snare gun. So if you missed my last tutorial with the hi-hats and drill, you start here, skip 2, and then place another, skip 2, and then place another, and those are the main ones that you need to do. It's very common that people do 1, skip 2, 1, skip 2, and then skip 1, and then just repeat. And then that's just how they do theirs, but I'm just gonna see what I can come up with. But mainly just the first 3 you want it to go tss, tss, tss. So I'm gonna see what I can come up with. So this is what I have so far. It's pretty basic. Now what I like doing in a lot of my beats is at the end I have like a long hi-hat roll, and then I take the velocities and I hold right click and make them drag from very low to high, and it like fades into the beginning. It sounds pretty cool. So like so I just randomized the panning on the hi-hats, and then I'm just gonna come in here and change some of the velocities by hand. Yeah, so I'm changing the velocities mainly on the ones besides the first 3 because I want them to like stand out, just to get that classic drill sound. In drill, the snare plays on the 3 and I think it's the 8th. I'm not sure, but in trap normally you'd have it on the 3 and the 7, which would be there. But in drill, normally played like that. But you can add a little variety to it, but that's the like most common thing you'd hear in a lot of drill beats. And now probably the part you've been waiting for, the 808. So all I did was come into here and then clicked on the 808 and then went here and made the envelope. I turned everything down except for the hold, which I turned all the way up, and that makes it so if your note is this long, it stops as soon as it ends. So that's just what I like. And normally my 808 would be going on D sharp, but since I pitched my melody down 2 cents, it's gonna come down to C sharp. So now I'm just gonna add some slide notes. I normally just slide it up an octave or down an octave, whatever. But sometimes you can use other notes, but try and still use the notes in the scale, otherwise it might sound a bit weird. But yeah. Okay, so might make some changes to that a bit later, but so far I like it. Now I'm just gonna add in a kick, and with drill normally you have the kick playing at the beginning and then towards the end. A lot of people do this pattern, and I'm just come up with what I like. And also just a tip for your 808. So at the beginning you want the 808 to just come in and then maybe something at the middle, but towards the end of the bar is where you want all the slides. You can do some stuff at the beginning like I did, but try and not go too crazy. I mean, do whatever you like. At the end of the day, I'm just here to teach you how I would do it. work on some more percussion, so I added a crash and a gunshot. And now I got 2 perks. I'm gonna see if I can do something with them. I actually think that's all I really need for the drums, but I'm just gonna level these out and then arrange it.